What's up, Star Wars fans? We're the Hilsmaniacs, and today we're going to be doing our review of the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 3. So the Book of Boba Fett Episode 3, or Chapter 3, whatever you want to call it, came out today on Disney+. It wasn't as kind of like action-packed as before, but I still kind of enjoyed this episode. They introduced a lot new characters. Boba Fett has some new team members, I guess you can call them.
We never learned their name.
A Rancor! Finally, back in Jabba's palace. Boba's palace now, I guess. Yeah. On Tatooine, he got a Rancor. He ended the feud with the Hutts, I guess, in a way. Black Chrysanthemum attacked Boba Fett.
Oh, that I think was the best part. It was just like, Boba was chilling in the flashback to tank.
Hashtag flashback to tank.
Yep. Where he was having his episodic flashback that he has every episode.
One an episode.
And then, conveniently, after he has the flashback...
Right as he opens the pod.
He's pulled out of it by Black Chrysanthemum.
Black Chrysanthemum pulling an Obi-Wan.
Honestly, he's, like, way cooler of, like, a Wookiee than, like, Chewbacca is.
He's got these, like, metal knuckles, like, brass knuckles, I guess you could call them, but they have, like, some electric power thing in them.
So he basically almost kills Boba Fett, who's just in his underwear.
Luckily, Boba Fett found these other people that are now working for him, because they come in and end up saving the day, because Fennec Shand, the head of security, was, nowhere to be found until Black Chrysanthemum ends up standing on the trap door.
And then she opens the trap door,
she's not how convenient that he's on the trap door.
She's not in there protecting Boba, guarding
that's what
his
I said.
bed.
She's the head of his security, and yet she's nowhere to be found. Good job, Fennec Shand.
She doesn't guard the flashback to tank or nothing.
I guess not. But in the flashback, we do go back to the Tuscan Raiders that Boba Fett was with, and it leaves off... or picks up basically right where the last one left off, where Boba is leaving the tribe of Tuscan Raiders, and he goes to talk with the Pikes about their deal that, they would stop using that land and stuff like that, and he finds out they're paying another group to use this land, so he has to go find them, and it turns out it's that gang from before when we saw them marking the little moisture farmhouse, whatever gang that was. And they flashed back again, technically in a flashback, to the scene where we saw them spray painting the side of the building, and it turns out that group was responsible for the death of the Tuscan tribe. The Tuscan tribe is gone. The entire tribe was wiped out. So Boba Fett was kind of on a journey. I wish they would show the scene where he finds Fennec after his battle with Mando. I'm sure it will. I'm sure we're gonna have plenty more flashback those, and
he's got a lot of sitting around in the back to tank.
Well, and there was a lot that happened between when he found Fennec and when he came back to help Mando in The Mandalorian, so any one of those could also be there. But again, it started off with the flashback to Kamino and him being a kid watching his father leave in Boba's ship, or Jango's ship, because it's not allowed to be called Slave One anymore.
For reasons.
Yes. And then it showed his reflection in the window, but then it showed this Boba Fett instead of Kid Boba Fett. So it was, again, with the flashbacks, and I kind of like the slow speed race that they had going on, and they had a chase going on later on.
Yeah, that was...
And it was literally the slowest chase
I think I've ever seen in a Star Wars movie. I'm just gonna call them motorcycles.
They were literally speeders.
Speeders, but they look like
bikes.
Speeder bike. Yeah. I just wanted to call them motorcycles.
And the other guy was in a land speeder, kind of like the one we see Luke use in A New Hope when they go to Mos Eisley, him and Obi-Wan, and then they sell the thing to. But it was the guy that, I forget what his name is, the guy that works for Mayor Mock Shaiz or whatever his name is. his like right hand assistant guy, basically the Bib Fortuna to his Jabba. Yes. And he was trying to escape, and Jabba sent his new group of random mechanical people to track him down, and it was literally the slowest chase I think I've ever seen in Star Wars. It was hilarious.
I've seen people run faster,
but it was. I mean, I think I've seen a turtle move faster.
Yeah, I don't know. It was. Yeah, it wasn't like a high speed. I mean, they did destroy stuff, but it wasn't like.
I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's a big speeder in a small town.
It's not like they were in the. It's not like it was a pod race or something.
Yeah. Well, see, that's probably what they were going for. They were trying to hint at pod racing on Tatooine without actually showing pod racing, because we all know how much of the first movie that took up, and nobody wants to rewatch that.
Yeah, it wasn't just this race though. It was like the whole episode to me just felt like it was slower. Like it felt like it downshifted from like the first two episodes. The first two episodes I really liked the story that they were doing, at least with the flashback stuff. And then this one, it's just like, well, now I know this is part of Boba's journey. Like, I still like the flashback stuff more than what's going on right now. Because, like I said, in the last episode, it just feels like stuff is happening in the modern stuff. But I like his flashbacks, and the Tuscans being killed here is kind of like, well, now that's kind of just like, where does he go from here now if he has any more flashbacks? I think the last episode or something will show him meeting Fennec Shand after her run-in with Mando and everything in The Mandalorian. But I just didn't feel like this episode did as much as like the previous two did. And even like really the story and stuff, it's just kind of like it's this really slow build, which isn't always a bad thing, but like I just feel like it got a lot slower here, and it seems like it's now starting to kind of drift away a little bit. Like, because now even he kind of like you said, he finished his sort of rivalry with the Hutts, I guess, because they want him to take out the new group that actually owns Mos Espa, I guess.
And is working with them there. Yeah. And the Pikes, apparently.
Right. So they want him to take... That's why they delivered him the Rancor. They're like, here, you get your own Rancor now. And Danny Trejo is here as the trainer.
They told him to keep Black Chrysanthemum or give him back to the Gladiators.
And he just let him go.
And he let him go. So who knows? Yeah. Maybe Chrysanthemum will come back and help Boba.
And he's got his own Danny Trejo that is the trainer for the Rancor.
Yes.
Yeah, for...
Because, Star Wars.
Danny Trejo, sure. But yeah, I just didn't feel like it was story-wise, the structure wasn't as good as the first two episodes.
I mean, I like that they took this to kind of build new people though too.
Well, yeah, because now he has this new group.
Yeah, he has this new group.
Yeah.
We saw what Chrysanthemum can do in a battle. Cool. Basically, I mean, he took on all of them, and had it not been for Fennec Shand opening the trap door,
he probably would have killed him.
And
even there, he hung on when he was dropped in.
Yeah,
too. Like, nobody's done that before.
A knife at his hand.
Yeah.
But there was no Rancor in there at that time anyways, so it didn't really matter. But at least he was trapped and couldn't get out.
Yeah, I hope he comes back, because he seems like a pretty cool character.
I'm sure he will.
Give him his own Disney Plus series.
And it's rumored that he'll appear again in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, because he kidnaps Owen Lars at one point and fights against Obi-Wan.
I guess that would take place before this, because I think he gets a cut on his eye or something.
And he has it already.
You can kind of see that in here. So
but yeah, he'll be basically the Chewbacca to Boba's Han, I guess, in a way. I think it would benefit both of them to have Chrysanthemum be on their team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because Chrysanthemum will get paid, because he's still technically a bounty hunter, I guess.
He'll probably do better than the
Gamorrean guards.
Yeah.
They didn't do much. But also, it's that old kind of friendship. And like, if you watched my video on people that should cameo in this, I mentioned Bosk, from the Clone Wars and stuff. And he was basically friends with Boba, even though they were getting paid together to do stuff. He still had like a friendship with him, because during the Clone Wars he was a kid and stuff. So it could be the same type of thing here with Chrysanthemum. He could be like, he still respects Boba enough to have a friendship in a way with him, to where it's like he'll protect Boba because Boba let him go, basically.
Yeah,
Boba
that's what I was gonna say. It's not even that he's gonna
know,
work for him. I think he'll just be like, maybe in the last episode or something, he'll come back. Like when they're down and out and they're about to Boba's about to be killed or something. Like all his guards and stuff are thrown away, and then here comes Chrysanthemum.
Literally like Chewbacca for Han.
And the two Hutts will just come walking in very slow, like.
Well, no, they'll have people carry them in. Those poor people,
very
I feel
slowly,
bad for them.
Yeah.
But I hope they do the backstory on this Rancor. If it is the one that we saw Bib Fortuna take at the end of Bad Batch, I think it would be cool to see that come full circle, because everybody was kind of wondering where he was. You know, if Bib Fortuna took this Rancor back then, you know, during the Bad Batch, which is technically, you know, during the Clone Wars, or just after, you know, Order 66 and stuff, where was this Rancor at? And maybe Bib Fortuna kept him hidden somewhere with the other Hutts, even, you know, gave him to the other Hutts to be their Rancor, because Jabba had one. So then they gave it to him. So we'll find out if this is the same Rancor, if it's a different Rancor. But I like that they mentioned Dathomir too, because this is the first time I think in a live action Star Wars property that we've mentioned Dathomir.
Yeah, because we saw it in the...
Because they never really mentioned it with Maul.
You see it in the Star Wars video game, Jedi Fallen Order, too.
Right.
That's like a big one of the locations you go to and you spend a lot of time
at. And they go there a lot in the Clone Wars. Because it's where Darth Maul, Savage Opress, Asajj Ventress...
I mean, they mentioned it because that's where... Didn't they say that's like...
Well, that's where Rancors... Rancors are from Dathomir. Or at least some species
some of them
Rancor
are there. Yeah,
from
so that's...
Yeah, because the Night Sisters, which was Asajj Ventress and...
So I don't know if that necessarily means we're going to see, like, you know,
well,
the
no,
Night
I mean,
Sisters and
Dathomir was destroyed and all the Night Sisters are dead. From, you know, Grievous and Dooku throughout the Clone Wars, but I just like that they're mentioning these things that weren't. I mean, they were canon
in the greater
but they
lore
weren't
of Star Wars.
They were canon. They just weren't really, you know, mentioned before. And in the movies, they weren't that important. But now you're mentioning it in here.
So yeah, not a whole lot really happened in this episode in particular. I didn't really like it. Like I said, like the other two episodes. But let us know what you guys thought of it down in the comments section. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll be talking about every episode of the Book of Boba Fett when it comes out. And also, be sure to check out our other two reviews of the past two episodes of the Book of Boba Fett as well. Thank you for watching the video, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.
May the Force be with you.
Subscribe.